Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Yes, it's that time. It's time for the older man's random reviews.
The older man random review. Learn about life from an older man. Yes, an older man.
Hi. Yep, it's that time for me to review those videos that you, my viewers, have sent me, and you want my opinion as an older man, as a man with a little bit more wisdom than most, I hope, to give you my opinion, my feedback on some of these videos. Because we all know, man, the internet is a crazy, crazy space. And there's a lot of information out there that a lot of people just need some clarity on from a brain that has a little bit more logic, critical thinking skills, life experience behind it. So, without further ado, let's get into our first video.
Should a married woman be talking to a married man for an hour or two or an hour a day or 3 or 4 times a week in the premise of, oh, they're helping me or counseling me?
They're my mentor.
Is that ever appropriate?
I think it's very dangerous. Absolutely. The emotional connection that comes, unless this is a professional therapist and they are paid to give you this kind of support.
Right.
You're kidding
dangerous.
yourself. You're kidding yourself.
Dangerous. That is very dangerous. And those are the kinds of conversations. Workplace spouse is a big issue now. It is, because that's a safe relationship, because you know the person, you know that they're stable, they got a job. But, once you stop talking about work, you start saying, so how are things going? Oh, that's nice shoes you have on. This compliments.
That's a nice dress.
If you haven't gotten complimented at home, and you have a colleague that always compliments you.
Yeah, and your words of affirmation.
Yeah.
So it plays right into your tank, like the Bible.
Oh, this is a very, very ticklish one, especially for someone like me who's in this, where I have to advise people, where I have to talk to a lot of women. Now, I've always been in this space for, 30 years. I started off owning my first gym at 19. So God, it's 40 years, almost 40 years now. From that time, I was a personal trainer. There is nothing more intimate than being a personal trainer. So from a very young age, 19, that's when I started being that heir. And to be honest, that's dangerous, being a young, fit guy that have to listen to women, whether they're older or younger, it doesn't matter. But being in a position where women have to be vulnerable with you, it puts you in a position to be very manipulative, especially if you're a young, horny young man. So I'm telling you, he has a very valid point. It is dangerous. Okay? As I matured, I became a martial arts instructor. It got even more intimate because now people are telling me about their, grape situation. The situation becomes even a lot more sensitive. People are now more vulnerable in front of you. You have to be careful at that point. And so, gentlemen, if you're in any of these professions, you got to be very careful. Moving into becoming a businessman, into real estate, and you're getting to learn more and more about interacting with people from an economic perspective. Going out to intimate situations with people talking about business, that's very intimate, talking about money. Then moving straight into becoming a professional photographer, another intimate situation where I am around women who are half naked, very naked. It's even more of an intimate situation. And then ultimately getting into this space. So what you're seeing is a man who's experienced a massive amount of situations like what this gentleman is describing, where I'm talking to a lot of married women, a lot. And so I have to be very careful about, yes, you can get personal with me because that's the only way I'm going to solve your problem. But I got to be careful about making sure that they understand the line, that very thin line that you can't cross. And I'm very good at making sure I don't cross that line with women because it's business. And that's one of the reasons that I actually maintain a photography business where I'm in very intimate spaces with women for over 15 years, especially here in Dubai. I made sure that there was a very clear line. Yes, you have to be open, but that little line, that kept me safe. So, ladies, you cannot blame your husband. You know, the big issue with most marriages right now is what we call the office husband, the work husband. That other man at work where your wife goes and become very close to. They become friends and they share everything because they're together 8 hours a day. They're together on a more personal basis more than you're together with your husband at home. So ladies, you got to understand, be careful about how much you share at work, how much you get intimate with a person at work, because once you cross that line outside of work, then it becomes extremely volatile, especially for a lot of women. Men, on the other hand, will take advantage of it. That's the reality of it. Most men will take advantage of it. That's why the Me Too movement was such a freaking nightmare for a lot of successful men. Because one thing about successful men, they will attract vulnerable women. Because those women look at him almost as if the prize. So yes, I agree with this 100%. Be careful, ladies. Don't get too close. Next one.
And now, how do you feel about kids?
I have a son.
Okay.
And do you have kids?
Yes.
How many?
5.
Got it. Got it. What's the ratio?
Oh, damn.
Or, like,
I have an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and an 11-month-old.
so fresh.
That's not what he was asking. The ratio wasn't how many kids and how many and what ages they were. That was not what he was asking. He was asking how many damn baby daddies. That's what he was asking. Oh, if you guys don't know, this is that dating show, Pop the Balloon or Find Love, where if the man is trying to choose the woman and vice versa, if the person wanted out, they would pop the balloon. So obviously he was the catch and she was not popping her balloon because she saw him as a catch. So 5 kids. Oh, single moms. No man should walk into that minefield. I'm sorry. Cannot recommend that. There's a few comments on that. Let me read a few. Yeah. Princess Troy said, when he asked about the ratio, he wasn't asking their age. He was asking the ratio of baby daddies to kids. Laughing. Exactly. I think everybody realized that that's what he was asking. So official brother and you said, ladies, as a woman, would you be okay with your son dating a woman with 5 kids? No mother would agree on that shit. But I will tell you, if she did not have kids, every woman would say, yeah, well, what's wrong with that? She could be a good woman. Every woman would say that until it's her son on the line. Yeah, it blows my mind. BT Fields says, she needs to get out the lineup. Blackest Berry said to the official brother, realistically, if the woman is financially independent and takes care of her children on her own, has been single for at least 4 years after having the last child, has other things going for herself, only has 1 baby daddy, or is turned over a new leaf in her life, oh God, just found God, found Jesus, then I honestly don't see why not. If my son was financially capable and emotionally and mentally capable of taking that on, I would make sure he's actually capable of being in that relationship by asking the important questions. But I'm not going to judge the girl for having children. Yeah, women, you can say this crap. Reality of it is, dealing with a woman is a nightmare on its own. Dealing with 1 child, that increased the nightmare tenfolds. And for every single child that you add to that, it increases another 10 to 20 folds. At the expense, don't give me this crap about independent. Every baby daddy, every single stepdad knows that he's on the hook for the everyday expenses. Because that woman is using that money she getting from those baby daddies or that baby daddies on her nails and all the other stuff. Reality, my friends, Ladies, if you open your legs and have a child for a man, that is what you have to stick with. That means you make sure you vet the man properly, make sure he's not an abuser, make sure that he's financially secure, that he can afford a child. Make sure that he marries your ass before you spit out a child. Simple. It's not freaking difficult at all. There's no such thing as divorce after that. Once those conditions are met, there is no such thing as divorce until the child has left the house, or 18 or left the house. Let's go to the next one.
A woman should never ask a man to provide more than he can provide.
Mm-hmm.
That's wrong. A woman should always live within the man's means. And if the man has the means, great. If he doesn't, don't ask for it.
Yeah.
And if you want more, work together to build it up.
Quick, simple, easy. A woman should never, ever demand more than her husband can provide. A man should never be in a marriage or a relationship where he constantly have to keep up with his wife's outrageous demands on him financially. That is not a good woman. That is a parasite. Because the minute you start feeding that parasite, it gets bigger, starts growing, and its appetite gets more and more ferocious. So gentlemen, bear that in mind. Please don't do it. Know when the woman is being unreasonable, and you just have to say, no, listen, babes, I can't afford that. I cannot afford that. I have to work 80 hours to get whatever you want. I have to work 2 years to get whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Gentlemen, you should not be killing yourself to please a woman's consumer habit with her trying to keep up with the Joneses. Hell no. Don't do it. Next video.
Look, that's your exact car right there.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty cool.
That one's way cooler than yours.
Bet he's got a hotter girlfriend than me, too.
Call the first one savage, more my mood.
Ladies, know when you're doing this to your man. You know it. This is when your demands, when your little undertones start to make the man feel like he's inadequate, not given enough. Gentlemen, learn to identify when your woman is doing this gaslighting crap on you and shut that shit down immediately. This was artful. But guess who's not going to get married to this girl? Because you see when that man turned his head away and said that, you know what happened there? He immediately put her in the sex box. Marriage box off the table. She just played herself. Yep.
Oh, some ladies one time. I said, let me show y'all how to find the perfect husband. And of course, you know, a room full of ladies. He finna tell me back. I said, I need you to make a list of everything that you want him to be. Make a list. Everything I want his credit score to be 850. I want him to be making $200,000 a year. He got to have his own house. I want him to be well groomed. He got to be well rounded. I say, make everything on that list that you want in a person. Do it. Put it all on there, everything. And become the list. See, we're not willing to become the list of what we want. See, you just want a bunch of stuff, but you're not willing to become a bunch of stuff.
Well, listen, man. He has a point. A lot of the demands made by women these days are just ridiculous. Every woman just wants a man to be a slave for her. I think an exercise like this shows two things. If the woman now starts to achieve some of the things that she has on that list, she will, one, realize how difficult it is to achieve it, and she will either abandon it halfway through because it's too difficult, too hard. She will work right through and achieve it. But then when she has achieved all of these things, guess what she's going to say? I don't need a man. I have it already. Because remember, women work to make money so she can say what? Yeah. Because remember, women work to achieve things so she can say, I don't need a man. I don't need a man. I got all of what I need. Now, listen, she might want a man, but what man wants to be around her when he has no purpose? He's not needed. There's nothing worse than a man who's with a woman who isn't needed. Men need to feel needed and wanted. If there's no use for him there, then why is he there? Think about it like this, and I'm sure you guys have heard this before. Imagine if you said, I want a business partner. I want a business partner. I don't need one. Then why would you get a business partner? You have all the money. Why would you then get a business partner that you don't need to do what? Share the work? Well, no, you said you don't need him. If you don't need it, that means you don't need to share the work, right? Need basically means that if there's no need, meaning there's no requirements whatsoever, whether it's money, whether it's sharing, whether it's money, whether it's time or energy, it doesn't matter. So all I'm saying to you guys is each party must have a need for the other. I need a woman there to provide my kid. I need a woman there so that I can have a good wife that I can have kids with, so I can create a legacy. A woman that could take care not only of the basic needs for that child, but to also be a helpmate for me. That's what the man needs. On the other hand, the woman wants his resources, etc., etc. We know the story. Point is, the point is, the woman cannot then achieve everything that she wants from her man, because then she'll say, I don't want a man. I think this gentleman missed that one point. Tell me I'm wrong.
I have never seen a woman make a broke man rich, but I've seen plenty of men make broke women rich. Do you think that we have a problem in society? We definitely do. We got many of them. But why is it that, like, a woman will never stay with a broke man, but a broke man has no problem, like, providing and building up a broke woman? Because the thing is like, nowadays, most broke women don't even think they're broke. They just think that they're dating the wrong man. But then they'll look at a guy who's like working fucking 60 hours a week at a job that doesn't really pay that much, but he's doing his fucking best, and she'll look at him and be like, that's broke boy energy. Like, no, that's hubby energy, actually. That's fucking husband material, actually. I feel like as women, we have such a like strong desire to be taken care of that we forget that like men are human beings.
Yeah, most women tend to forget that. Men are human beings. They're not robots. They're not slaves. They're not there to just cater to every single whim that they have. Men are human beings. And most of the time, those human beings are compassionate. They have feelings. And most of the time, they just want to find another woman that could come into their life to share life with. They're not there to take from you. Most men don't even get sex after they're married. At least not as consistent as when he wasn't married. Now, these two neighbors are having an argument. It's in Spanish and they're talking really fast, so I can't understand it. But the outcome is where you do not want to get to. None at all. So he came out strapped. There we go. The neighbor closest to the camera, he came out with the intention of either one, protecting himself, or two, because it seems like they had some prior argument before. Because the neighbor across the street, that's the idiot that struck at him first. So obviously there must have been some previous threats. So gentlemen, understand violence, please. But in reality, do not take a lethal weapon into an argument. Because what this man did was just put himself in prison for life. Because that is death right there. He just killed that man. First shot was to his head. And that was a lot of bullets that came after that. Now, I'm sure if this is in Florida, this gentleman was on his property. So he has every right. So that's probably why he did that. But I don't know. I'm just speculating. The point of this particular video is stay away from violent situation when two women are arguing. So please do not get in between female argument, because they're highly emotional and they will influence you. And women do it all the time. On the lower level, it's, you're going to make her say that to me? You're going to make her say that to me? And if the husband gets in, oh, you're going to make him say that to me? What kind of man are you? What kind of man are you? You see how his wife pulled him off, but after it was too late, she jumped on him and tried to get him to stop shooting this guy. It was already too late. You don't survive from 5-6 shots, man. All right, that one was a little bit heavy. Let's hope YouTube don't pull me up for that.
I never dated outside my race, Bobby Lee.
You never dated a white guy?
No.
Why?
Because white men don't like fat women. They give their fat women to black men.
Duh, dude. Duh.
Obviously. Or they kill them.
That too, man. History, dude.
Yeah. You don't watch Snap? I said lose weight and hit in the head with a brick. White men only like fat women if the couple is extremely poor. White people with money, they don't want no out of shape white fat.
Yeah. Holy shit, dude.
I heard no lies. And I don't understand why my black brothers just accept the out of shape fat white women and black women. I don't understand why you think that your taste should be that low. To be honest with you, man, if you're in shape, if you're a small man, you shouldn't be going for an out of shape white woman. Listen, I'm not fat shaming. I'm just saying, why would you go for a woman obviously have health issues? See, the biggest problem I have with overweight women and men who try to explain to me that, yeah, these are my curves and this is who I am, etc., and I'm healthy. Bullshit, you're not. I hate the fact that overweight people try to tell other people, normal people, that they are fat and healthy. It is logically impossible. There is no way you can show that much fat externally and not have visceral fat, meaning fat that is surrounding your organs, that is stifling your organs. It's impossible. So these people who tell me, oh, I'm fat, but I'm healthy. I'm big and I'm beautiful and I'm healthy. No, you're not. It's bullshit. And all it takes is time for it to get worse. So all you're doing is dealing with a woman with a very short lifespan before she's going to need medication, she's going to need surgery, and she's going to need a lot of care, meaning you got to take care of this. So yeah, don't do it. I'm hitting on some nerves today, so it's going to be cold, man, but I'm just giving you guys the hard facts.
I have a serious question for the guys. Why is it that you try so hard to get a girl, and then once you get that girl, then you start to treat her like garbage? I don't get that. Especially, I'm a single mom, but it is so hard as a single mom to date because it's not just about me. I have to look into somebody on a whole other level and be like, is this person going to be a good influence on my child? Is this person going to be the father figure that I want him to be? Is this person going to love me and treat me right unconditionally? And as sad as it sounds, before, when I was younger and before I became a parent, I would let people take advantage of me and walk all over me.
So to me, it seems like women are trying to hold the stepdaddies to a higher standard of providing and provisioning than the OG daddy, which is crazy.
Yeah. It blows my mind. For some reason, these single mothers think that, hey, I am much more valuable to you now that I have a child for another man. So you have to understand me and understand that this, you get double the pleasure, my child and me. Who are they trying to fool? Who are you honestly trying to fool? What kind of man you think gonna look at that dynamic and say, yeah, I'm getting a better deal than when you were single and you were throwing the panani all over the place? Now you settle down because you got a child? Man, these videos just drive me insane when I listen to it. Wow. I can't say anything else because I'll cross that line. Okay, we're gonna do one more.
How they went from this to this.
Wow. And this is what I'm talking about. I don't understand why we should glorify this. These guys became huge online. Imagine doing that to your body. Absolutely no respect for your body. The only body you're going to live in. Wow. I don't get it.
I do single mothers cultivate feminine sons. They make them soft because they try to protect them. while she tries to raise her daughter to protect herself. But she tries to protect her son. And you can't protect a man. You got to teach a man how to protect himself. And a woman doesn't know how a man needs to be protected in the world. A man has to teach a man how to protect a man. Because men and women don't need protection the same way. We don't even think the same. We don't even think the same. It don't matter how much or who told you to think like a man. You're not a man. You're still missing something.
I am glad that women are waking up to this simple fact. I think now they're now seeing more and more beta boys coming out from these mothers, these feminine boys, these son husbands. If you watch my video a week ago on this, we now have to identify that single mothers are creating some of the worst product. As this was put forth in a previous video, one woman said it. She hit the nail on the head. If you're trying to protect your son, how the hell is he going to be able to protect and provide for a family of his own? You didn't teach him how to protect. What you did was you protected him. You coddled him. The exact opposite is what you've done. And even if you wanted to teach him to protect, you have no idea how to do that because you've never been taught that. All you have ever been taught was protect yourself from men. Yes, you got to be careful with these men out here in these streets. You got to be careful, honey. These men out here are no good. You got to be careful. Got to be careful. That's what you tell a girl. That's what you tell a child. You do not tell your son that. You tell your son how to protect a woman. So guys, listen, subscribe if you haven't. Give me a thumbs up on this video, please. If you would like to book a session with me, get me on askanolderman.com. Quick questions? Get me on Instagram on Ask an Older Man. Thank you so much for holding in and staying here with me until the end. Remember, whenever in doubt, always ask an older man. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.